Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you a quick tutorial on how to make a vellum dashboard for your planner that includes an idea I got from Brandy Michelle Plans, and that is a list of what you should be referencing when you're planning. And of course this will be different for everyone, but I can just tell you, for me personally, this has been a lifesaver because instead of thinking about all of the things that I need to be planning and wasting that brain energy on that, I'm kind of free to get my plans on paper because I know I'm not missing anything when I sit down with my planner to plan the week or the day. So when I sit down each week, these are the things that I think about. I need to check my monthly calendar because that holds all of my forward planning, my husband's on-call schedule, my son's school calendar. I do a lot of work for Planner Kate, so I make sure I check her calendar as well as the Cocoa Daisy calendar. I consider meal planning. That one's kind of one that doesn't happen a lot. I do follow the Fly Lady Zone cleaning, so I make sure I'm doing those tasks and I'm on the right zone for each week. Medical and health, my content calendar, birthdays and anniversaries, people I need to contact for the week, errands I need to run for the week, how am I doing on my habits, and then what scripture am I studying. So like I said, this will be different for everyone, but once you get it down, and you could even go back and reference some of your old plans and write down the categories for those, so you'll have a comprehensive list. But this has been really helpful for me. So for the tutorial, you will need one of the Cocoa Daisy dashboards. I'm using a personal size here, a sheet of vellum, lamination sheet, washi. I did add a tab to mine, also from Cocoa Daisy, and a marker. And obviously your laminating machine and a printer and a computer. So first things first, I'm going to type this list up on my computer. I use a MacBook Pro, and so I use the application called Pages, and I don't worry about margins or anything. I just leave it how it is. I did change my font to Jen Plans font. That's a separate purchase in Etsy if you're interested in that specific font. And then I just typed out my list in size 14-point font there. So now that I have that all typed out, I will send this to my printer, which I'll show you, and we'll talk a little bit about vellum. Okay, so I have this vellum that I got on Amazon in a big pack, which I will link below for you on Amazon. It's not super thick, it's not expensive, but it gets the job done for me. So you'll see my printer here in just a second. Depending on what type of printer you have, you might want to test to see if the vellum works or doesn't work in your printer. I have heard horror stories of the vellum kind of melting in the printer if you have a certain kind of printer. I have a Canon, which I will show you, but this is what I personally use. And you will see when the ink prints on it, if you touch it, it will smear very easily, which is why we are going to laminate the finished product. Okay, so this is the specific printer I have. It is a Canon MG7720, and I have that vellum I showed you already in the tray, and I'm going to go ahead and print that document. Okay, this is fresh out of the printer. You can kind of see how that's inky. I don't want to touch it because it would smear. So next you're going to take the dashboard that you want to use and flip it over. And this is why I did not worry about the margins. I wasn't trying to print it exactly to this personal dashboard size. I am actually going to center this just by eyeballing it on the back of my dashboard. And you'll see I'm leaving a little bit of room up there for my washi. That helps seal the lamination better than if you cut the vellum to the exact size of the dashboard. I make the vellum a little bit smaller. So I will go ahead and mark where I need to cut. on both sides and along the bottom here. And then I'm going to be very careful and not touch my lettering because I don't want it to smear. I'm going to use my paper cutter here to make those cuts. Okay, then I'm going to take my dashboard again and put that, line it up with the bottom there. And you can see here, because I just eyeballed it, my vellum is the same width as my dashboard, so I'm actually going to trim that down just a little bit more. Okay, so I have that trimmed down. I'm going to line that up with the bottom again. And then to keep that vellum in place as I'm putting it in my lamination sheet, I'm going to choose a washi that I like. And you can see the vellum is shorter than the dashboard, so that gives the washi room to secure. And I'll do that again on the bottom as well. Then I will take my scissors, again being careful not to touch where I printed. I'll trim my washi down. And then I will take my lamination sheet. This is 5 mil. Sometimes I use 10. It's really thick, like a cardstock finish, but for this project I don't need to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in. Again, trying not to smudge your letters, so just close that up. And then I have found a little trick to help my lamination seal even better, because I have a cheap laminator from Walmart, is to trim off some of this lamination before you even run it through the laminating machine. So it looks like this. I'm going to go over and pop it in my laminator. Okay, this is the laminator I use. It's the Scotch brand. It takes a little bit to warm up, so I've had that going, and on this particular brand, this light tells you that it's ready, and I do have it on the 5 mil setting. So I'll pop my project in and it will be sealed and ready for trim. Okay, so that just came out of the laminator, and now I can trim it up with my paper trimmer, and I just eyeball it next to the blade. I don't use the ruler or mark anything, and I try to leave just a little bit of an edge, maybe like 1/8 of an inch of the laminate. Don't cut it right up to the paper or the dashboard. That helps it stay sealed and not peel apart. One thing I didn't mention that you could use, this step would be optional. I like the corners of my projects to be a little bit rounded, so I use this We Are Memory Keepers punch. This side is a 1/2 inch round, and this side is a 1/4 inch round, and I prefer the 1/4 inch round, so I will just go ahead and round my corners. And I usually do both sides just because I've had this forever and the punch is getting kind of dull. Okay, so you could be done there, you could be finished. I'm going to add a tab to mine. These come in the Cocoa Daisy main planner kit, and I think going forward they have an adhesive back, but this month for September they did not, so I will just use some of my tape runner to stick that on. And that's it. That's the finished project. Now you have a page marker. You could label with the Cocoa Daisy tab stickers or with your own handwriting, and you could mark your page in your planner, and then when you sit down to plan, kind of freeze your mind up to focus on your planning because you already know what you're supposed to be thinking about and referencing for the week. If you guys have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Thanks for watching and happy crafting!